What-o, chaps? How the devil? Welcome to the BBC Spews for the 24th of February. I'm your host, the Angry Bootneck. You all know that. Nobody else sees this shit. So it's just the regulars now, isn't it? Like a comfortable pub that doesn't smell of piss. Because it's not real. Davy Parker's here. How you doing, Davy? Have you got your picture framed yet, Dave? Are you going to send me a photograph that doesn't look like you took it with a potato, with a fucking Nintendo Game Boy? Do it, and then I can advertise my wares. France has just surrendered. Good news for you, Johnny Frenchman. The war is over. Yes. You have to laugh, don't you, with what's gone on? We took the piss for 30 years. And now it's kicking off. Weird that, innit? You know, the odd thing about this is, again, you would think that working class enlisted chaps like myself wouldn't be needed to impart any wisdom to professionals, journalists, pundits, world leaders of men, intelligence analysts. And yet it seems like most of them haven't got a fucking clue. I believe I made the point quite astutely in a Quora piece, and I think I shared it on my website, but I wrote a long piece about why there's monuments in Confederate states in the United States. And it's because people that have never been to war and don't understand human conflict, human history, really, isn't it? Because the history of humanity is the history of bloodshed. We fucking love a rock. We love a rock. We're a poorly evolved chimp with clothes on. We've got big bulging adrenal glands and poorly evolved frontal lobes, and we fucking love a rock. And this is why, as always, I can link it to my politics. This is why I'm the eternal centrist pragmatist. Because in a world that basically should be, and has probably always been, teetering on the brink, we don't have the luxury of idealism. We don't have the luxury of sitting here and saying, oh, yes, it might be completely at odds with reality, but here's how I think it should be. I couldn't give a fuck how you think it should be. World leaders and the elites should be pragmatists before anything else. And like most soldiers, I'm a pragmatist. I don't care what you feel. I care about what's feasible. And the reason we allowed Confederates to build statues is for the same reason that any general, from fucking Genghis Khan to Caesar to Rommel to anybody else, the reason they make concessions to the enemy after kicking some ass is because you only have two options. Again, I've talked about it loads of times. You either wipe your enemies off the face of the fucking earth, or you make concessions to them. That's how you get peace. I mean, seriously. Is everyone a fucking idiot? We got peace with the Germans and the Japanese because we made concessions to them. Does nobody seem to fucking realise that? Yeah, they lost, so we set the terms, but you get peace when you make concessions. We rebuilt Germany. We rebuilt Japan after we dropped an atomic bomb on the little bastards. If we'd have just said, right, here's what we're going to do, sign this, and they read it and they went, well, hang on, it says here you're going to give us absolutely fuck all, then they wouldn't have signed it to fight to the last man. If you don't get concessions, you just keep going. Think about Northern Ireland. I did a tour in Northern Ireland, not when it was rough as fuck. I don't want to start giving it to Charlie Big Spuds. What was it when I went? Like 2001, I think. It was watering down. Although I was in the rough area, because they used to always send a boot next to the rough area. South Armagh, bandit country. We all read the book before we went. Forkhill, Crossmaglen. Fucking rough place. And the reason they called it bandit country is because it wasn't like other parts of Northern Ireland where you've got mixed sentiment. Basically, everybody in Crossmaglen fucking hates you, right? It's not like a reasonable part of Northern Ireland. It's every single person there wants to be a fucking IRA sniper. It's a massive loyalist to the crown. It's a massive Republican area. So, Besbrook was the good one. Besbrook was posh. I remember getting like a couple of weeks in Besbrook for whatever reason it was, backfilling a multiple. Besbrook was fucking sound. Forkhill and Crossmaglen, you were just living 14 men in a shed. It was fucking shit. And I remember people whinging about it then, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant here, but I've always done my reading, and before I deployed there, I read A Brief History of Ireland, and I read Bandit Country, so I roughly knew what was going on. And when people were saying, oh, it's shocking this, there was lads mourning in the multiple, young teenage bootnecks who just love a bit of chew. Swap sides again. Not me. And it's 2 T's in Matthew. Don't start me on that. Everywhere I go out here, I say Matthew and they put 1 T in it. I'm like, who the fuck spells Matthew with 1 T? Matthew Broderick, Matthew fucking out the Bible, Matthew, every Matthew in the bastard world, Matthew McConaughey, Jesus' mate, it's 2. If you can't spell Matthew, you're a fucking lunatic. Anyway, just one of my pet peeves. Went off on a tangent there. Yeah, Davey's been in a sanger at Crossmaglen. Fucking winner. Nice one. The point I'm getting at is, so lads used to mourn and say, isn't it shocking? They talked about how one of the, so I hope I don't reveal too much here, right? I was intelligence for a while as well, so I was cleared of secrets, so I know how it works. I'm assuming everything I'm sharing here is open source, or has at least been written in any of the dozens of books about the Northern Ireland conflict. Before you used to go out on the ground, you'd spend a lot of time doing PAX recognition, and they'd teach you known VRNs, which is registration plates, and known players in the area. Obviously, everybody knows this. The IRA aren't fucking daft. They know they've got an enemy that's switched on as well. So these young lads, we'd sit there. I don't know how often we used to do it. Can't remember. And they'd go through all these fucking PowerPoints, and it's all the blokes in your area of operations that are known players. And some of the shit those cunts had done was absolutely shocking. There was guys who'd been freed as a result of the Good Friday Agreement that were killers. There was blokes, I think one of them was famous. Again, I'm not naming any names. I do still remember the names because we memorised them all. There was one bloke who murdered an off-duty RF bloke. I think it was in Gibraltar. Shot him up with an AK while he was carrying his daughter, and she was only a toddler, and killed them both. Fucking IRA bloke murdered this fella. And then we were out patrolling the streets in 2001 or whatever it was, and we see the cunt. I'm sure they do, Ragnar. You see the bloke, and young lads would say, can you believe that? He murdered a fucking young kid and he's just wandering the streets. That was the Good Friday Agreement, right? The Northern Ireland's a good one to pick because it perfectly illustrates the point that I'm making. The IRA weren't fucking happy, and the British weren't happy. Any British veteran who's actually spent some time in Northern Ireland wasn't happy to see known murderers and killers and torturers walking the fucking streets as free men. You walk past them on a patrol and they go, all right, lads, cocky smile on the face because they've just done 2 years for murdering 6 people. That's called a concession. And to get peace, you make concessions, right? Doesn't matter whether you're talking about the Japanese and the Germans in World War II or Pyra, Ryra, and all of them in Northern Ireland. Peace is only arrived at through concessions on both parts, unless you're willing to commit genocide. Yeah, if you want to go down that route of eradicating absolutely all of them, you can try it, but it's not very sensible, right? We all know the Americans could have won in Vietnam. They're willing to butcher 40, 50 million people, just kill everyone. You can do that. Or if you decide it's not feasible, because you're not a fucking lunatic, you make concessions to the enemy, right? We have been so sorely led by cowards that concessions are dirty word to them, because they want to give it to Charlie Big Spuds, because they don't understand the nature of warfare. And don't start fucking quoting people like Tobias Elwood and Johnny fucking Mercer. Fucking Rupert. Tobias Elwood was so far in the rear, he used to send his laundry forwards. Tobias Elwood knows fuck all about war. And Johnny Mercer, there's a fucking weasel and all. Ginge hosted 3 terrorists after the mortar attack on Heathrow. Winner. Yeah. Well, again, you've got to just laugh now, haven't you? Yeah, and you've got to laugh at that. Joe Biden knows less about Northern Ireland than fucking my flip-flops. The man knows nothing. He's like Kamala Harris, he just talks. It's just like a kid who's forgot the homework. Just total bollocks. Joe Biden talking about Northern Ireland's laughable. He hasn't got a fucking clue what he's talking about. He's definitely never read a long book on the subject. So you have to concede things. And we ended the Cold War. And we might have fucking won because the Russian economy was fucked and the military's a shadow of its former self. They haven't got the power they used to. But you still have to concede things to your enemies. There's no need for us to be at war with Russia. We shouldn't be at war with Russia. In many ways, we should be natural allies with them. Culturally, they're not some sort of alien. It's not like comparing some dull old agnostic chap from fucking Yorkshire to a indoctrinated, hardcore, devout jihadist. There's many reasons we should be getting on with them. They were our allies against the fucking Nazis. But we don't talk about that anymore. And it's because our current leaders aren't willing to concede anything. We've took the piss out of the Russians for 30 years. And people who don't know what you're talking about can have a pop and say, oh my God, the British soldiers are fucking bootnecks, pro-Russia. I'm not pro-Russia. I'm pro my own country, but I'm pointing out the obvious fact that anybody who's ever read a long book about any major conflict is aware of. That both sides have to come to the table. You either commit 100% to genocide, or you come to the table and you both concede things you don't like very much. That's how you get peace. Just think about it. You can't have peace if it's all one-sided, can you? Because the other guys will go, well, fuck you, we'll just fight to the last man then. You're not conceding us anything. We'll fight to the last man. Fuck you. That's how humans are. We're very stubborn, warlike chimps, and we fucking love a rock. And we've conceded nothing. For 30 years, the Russians have drawn fucking red lines, and we've crossed them. The saber-rattling arrogance of the European Union, especially, and the Americans, especially, and of course the British. Arrogance. Just, no, fuck them. They said the red line's here. Fuck the red line. Fuck the red line. Fuck the red line. Now it's kicking off. Oh my God, the despicable Russians. Just read about this fucking conflict. Those two regions, Donetsk and the other fucker, if they were to have a referendum in those areas, it'd be fucking close. They speak Russian. Why do you think the Anglosphere is so close? Because the single most important thing for any just group of people to get on is the ability to communicate. And it's why we have we're natural friends with the Canadians and the Americans and the Australians. Not just our shared history, it's our language. We can communicate, we talk to each other. You know what I mean? Think about when you go traveling. I've been staying in hostels when I was a young lad. I'm far too old for that shit now. But when I was in my teens and 20s, you go on the piss in Thailand or wherever you go, Japan, and you end up going to a hostel. Who would you make friends with? Within a few days, you're going on the piss with the Aussies and the Kiwis and the Canadians and the Yanks and the South Africans and anybody else who speaks passable English. Europeans, usually Scandis. I've befriended Norwegians and Danes, lads who speak good English, because you have to be able to communicate. If you can communicate, you can rub along. And I thought you were talking about me there, the armchair general. Well, I am a fucking armchair general, but at least, unlike most armchair generals, I've actually spent some time doing a bit of the shooting and the stabbing as well. And the point I'm getting at is maybe it is the fact that I've been to war zones makes you pragmatic and cynical. But when you see the human cost of war, it makes you angry with the politicians taking the piss for their own self-aggrandizement. I went to Hiroshima. Again, I'm not getting a photo album out. I've got them on my computer somewhere, though, in front of the Peace Dome, because the Dome was the only building left standing after they dropped the fucking atom bomb on Hiroshima. And when I went to Hiroshima, they have a museum there, Peace Museum. And I'm not a sentimental man, obviously. But a small part of me was touched, almost moved to tears. Almost. I mean, I didn't fucking cry about it. Jesus. Bootneck. Because there's a trike in a glass case in the museum in Hiroshima. And it's where this little kid, he was like 4, and he was out on his bike. And the atom bomb went off. It fucking fried him. And he was crawling in the street, and his dad ran out and helped him. And the poor little twat was just horrifically burned. And he was ill for about 4 days. And then he died. And you read the story on the plaque, and you see the fucking bike folded up in the cabinet. And it does genuinely sadden you, breaks your heart. And I remember seeing it. It said, all world leaders should be forced to visit the Peace Museum so they understand the human cost of war. And I think any veteran that's actually been to a proper war zone and seen someone get fucking... I was about 50 yards away from a Terp when we were in Kajaki in Helmand province, when he stood on a fucking landmine and got fucking vaporized. They had to pick bits of his, it wasn't shrapnel, it was pieces of his bone out of the Sergeant Major's forearm, where he went, fucking hell. You see shit like that happen, and you see the poor cunt quickly expire. And you think, yeah, this isn't good, this. It's not like in the fucking movies. Although I have to say, a lot of the modern movies are quite good. Although, how bad was the bit on Saving Private Ryan when he said, you lucky bastard, and then got shot in the head? I thought that was unnecessary and sort of pointless, lowered the tone of the fucking whole opening sequence. But the point I'm getting at is, there's nothing good about it. And our world leaders, just for their own hubris, it's like I kept saying the other day about them kicking the can down the road. They don't want to deal with a problem on their watch because they want to make themselves look fucking awesome. So instead of anyone for the last 30 years in America drawing a line in the sand and saying, we're paying the fucking debt off, lads. Trump should have done it, right? Should have said, we're paying the debt off, lads. We've got to stop fucking printing money, quantitative easing, printing money. Inflation is just another form of tax, right? They just fucking print more money and then your money's devalued. It's just another way of taxing you. Because then your money goes fucking, everything's more expensive. It's a massive pain in the ass. Nobody for 30 years, doesn't matter whether in Europe, anywhere in the Western world, has paid the debts off. None of them had the balls to turn around and say, lads, we need to pay this fucking debt off. Joe Biden didn't have the balls to say to an autistic teenage fuckwit, go back to school, love. Go and do some fucking sums, you little twat. We're not getting rid of the Keystone Pipeline. I know you want to. You feel like we should. Again, I keep talking about cynicism and pragmatism. Well, we all want clean energy. I'd love to see unlimited energy, cost nothing. I'd love to see us living in a Star Trek world where no one has to toil and no one has to suffer. Fucking nice one. But it's not going to happen, AOC. Fucking just because you can eat an apple through a tennis racket, you think you're some sort of fucking world leader. You've got teeth like a dead sheep. You shouldn't be telling me anything. You're not my better in any aspect of your life. You're not physically or mentally my equal. I would just about trust you to pour me a fucking drink, but your useless, delusional idealism has no place in the political theatre at all. So shut the fuck up. And Joe Biden, complete failure that he is. Yes, well, Maggie, I will get to it eventually. I'm just ranting. Complete failure, yes. Because he wouldn't fucking say what needed to be said, which is, we live in uncertain times, we need jobs, and we need energy. So the Keystone Pipeline will help us get those things. Trump basically had the United States energy independent, but because feels before reals, because of idealistic fucking youthful stupidity, Joe Biden went, yeah, man, let's just come on, man, we can just miracle energy out of our assholes. You can't. You can't. Be a pragmatist, be a realist. It's not good that there's pollution, and I know the oil coming down through the Keystone Pipeline, it's old-fashioned, crude fucking, it's a particularly dirty type, I think, if I remember reading that on the BBC. Yeah, it's not ideal, but that's what we need. We need energy, and we need an economy that functions, and people need jobs. So you go, yeah, we'll try and be as clean as we can, but it can't be helped. And because he didn't have the fucking brains that the gods gave a goose, but more important than that, he doesn't have any intestinal fortitude. He hasn't got the courage to stand for what he knows is right, or what we need to do. He caved. This is why they collapsed the borders, fields before reals. This is why the US and the United States isn't energy independent anymore, fields before reals. So the thick twat collapsed the Keystone Pipeline, where we're getting oil off Canada. So fucking much of an ally, you can barely see where Canada starts and the United States begins. Same language, same culture, share a border. I mean, fucking hell, not long ago, you didn't even need a bastard passport to go to Canada from America. You just had to show them your driving license. So he collapsed a pipeline with a fucking genuine ally that would never close the fucking floodgates. And then we're importing oil from Russia. Seriously. If you're left wing and you advocated the destruction of the Keystone Pipeline, turning the gas off, you want rid of fracking. Nobody wants to frack. If we could just miracle energy out of our fucking arseholes, I wouldn't be all for fracking. Why do we want to damage the English countryside? Of course we don't. But we need energy. That's just a fact. So frack my fucking tits off. Get yourself to Middlesbrough and start fracking. The boys in Borough are pragmatists. If you offer them all good jobs, 50 grand a year to help frack some shit, they'll frack till their fucking fingers bleed. Pragmatism. Just do it. Because let me tell you, you're all going to feel the pinch in a couple of months. I'm fucking telling you. Just from listening to the economists on the news in the last couple of days out here, and obviously on YouTube, where you're one of the only places you get common sense nowadays, the fucking pain is coming. We'll hit $5 a gallon in the United States. Fuck knows how it's going to go in England. I don't even, you'll have to leave your fucking firstborn at the pumps. Oh, what car have you got, mate? Oh, I've got a Land Rover. Just leave your kids. Leave your fucking kids. You know, the owner's like some sweaty old imam. Yeah. Just leave us your kids, fella. It's going to get bad. The UK has £1 trillion in gas reserves. Well, we'll see how long it lasts when all the taps stop. We're all going to feel the pinch, and the inflation as well. The sanctions they're putting on the Russians will hurt us too. If you haven't been paying attention, these things aren't just one way. We live in a global economy. The sanctions are going to fuck us, and it's going to be a war of attrition, right? And ask yourself this question: who do you think can handle a bit of pain the most? The fucking Russians, who've been cold and hungry for decades, or soy boys, Guardian readers, BBC journalists, soft as shit city dwellers in places like California and New York and London and Manchester. Manchester, a city full of fucking dickheads. That's what Manchester is. Again, I know I'm painting with broad brushes. I always do when I'm ranting. Only 50% of Manchester's communists. So, yeah, not all of yous. But Manchester is full of wankers. Every time I've been to, what is it? It's just fucking lefty cunts. Andy Burnham, doorstop of a man. Seriously, I wouldn't trust Andy Burnham to fucking walk me dog. The man is an absolute cunt. Well, get ready to feel the pain, lads. Get ready to feel the fucking pain. Call, not dole. There's a great slogan. That's for the borough. Call, not dole. We know what's coming. And it's our fault. So I'm not pro-Russia. I'm just saying this didn't need to happen. This didn't need to happen. If we hadn't crossed red lines for 30 years, this wouldn't be happening. And yes, it's not going to be a nuclear fucking war. Stop it. The nuclear deterrent worked far better than anybody ever expected. Far better. It's guaranteed not another one never got dropped. So we're not going to get nuked. But we are going to feel the fucking pain. That much is certain. And who's going to win the war of attrition? Some rough fucking Russian skinhead, right, who works as a steel worker, or some fucking Guardian reading soy boy. All the middle class white women who are like, ooh, that one who started the whole man spreading phenomenon, where she like works in she gets 100 grand a year for working in an air conditioned office in Manhattan, and she gets up in the morning in a nice condo, and she rides the train to work, and she gets a my soy fucking chai mocha chai latte. And she's like, oh, and I was like, yeah, and she was like, whatever, and I was like, one of those fucking dickheads. You think they're gonna outlast a Russian when it comes to gritting your teeth and getting on with shit? Are you having a fucking laugh? That's who we're going up against. So batten down the hatches. And if you think we're going to win a war of attrition, you're fucking sadly mistaken. Because I guarantee you this, lefty soy boys who go to Starbucks 6 times a week, you're going to get sick before they do. The gas goes up, the food goes up, the fucking economy tanks, the stock market tanks. Who's going to get sick of eating fucking spam and drinking rain first? You or the fucking Ruskies? The other funny thing is, watching them on CNN and MSNBC, the fucking left now, they love a fucking war. They love a war now. Their boys in charge, don't they? They fucking love it. There was actually, in fact, I might make a video about it later because I was watching Tucker last night. They had some bloke on there who's fucking multi-millionaire. And you've got the likes of Pelosi, got $200 million in the fucking bank, right? The salary's like 200 grand a year, but she's got 200 million because they rigged the fucking stock market and they get money off all these special interest groups. And she's saying, oh, yeah, we all have to pitch in for the war effort. Yeah, honestly, without a trace of irony, you've got people with $200 million in the bank. Nancy Pelosi has got 2 fucking fridges that are worth more than our apartment. Nancy Pelosi's 2 deluxe fridge freezers full of, what's that word they all use? Artisan. 2 fucking deluxe fridge freezers full of artisan ice cream. First of all, her fucking fridge has got more of a carbon footprint than me, you cunts. Sick of hearing about that. Carbon footprint. Yeah, as always, you can't have a steak, you cunt, but Nancy Pelosi's fridge has got the carbon footprint of 20 plumbers. This is how these people live. Seriously, have you seen? Do you remember the famous video? You guys probably don't, because most of you are in the UK. But there was a famous viral video of her where she stood in front of these. Apparently, someone clever person got on Google and found out that these fridge freezers, these deluxe fridge freezers, are worth like 20 grand each. And she stood in front of 2 of them in a kitchen going, "Let me tell you, I just love this artisan ice cream." And she's got like fucking 8 crates of it in these fucking fridges that are bigger than my house. And she's like, "Oh yeah, it's fantastic." And it's like, $19 fucking dollars a tub. And she's gobbing off about this. Oh yeah, climate change. We've all got to tighten our belts. Your fucking fridge has got the carbon footprint of 20 fucking blokes. And you've got $200 million in the bank. And you're going to go on the telly and lecture me about climate change because I take the fucking wife to Spain once a year on fucking sleazy jet. Right? You fly, John Kerry, he goes all over in a fucking private jet. And he's going to lecture you. Wow, you drove to Skegness with the kids for a weekend, you cunt. Fucking hell. And he's eating Big Mac. You have some cricket toothpaste for your dinner, you cunt. These fucking people are fucking scum. There's no other word for them. The modern politician, we've always knew the modern politician is scum. But the modern politician now is beyond all doubt. They aren't just fucking the worst human beings alive. They are crazy. They're awful people, but they're also fucking crazy because they don't seem to be able to do what even a 5-year-old can do, which is realize that when things come out your mouth, people are going to hear them and respond to them because they don't think anything of it. John Kerry gets 20 private jets a fucking month. And he thinks nothing of going on telly going, oh, you shouldn't You shouldn't be flying to the Isle of Wight, you cunt. The fucking mental. That's a good one. What's the carbon footprint of a Russian tank? Yeah, what's the carbon footprint of 50 Ukrainian tanks on fire? I go, well, sorry lads, you can't fly to fucking Spain. It's not even that far from England, is it? You can't fly to Spain. It's just slag 2,000 tanks, fucking A-10s flying around the clock. Like carbon footprint. What's this carbon footprint going to be now? The drums of war are fucking banging. It's laughable. It's all a big joke. You know what it made me think of? I actually started rereading it again last night because I was laughing thinking about it. The Comedian from The Watchmen. It's a seminal comic book, 100 times better than the movie. If you've ever been unfortunate enough to watch that. And The Comedian's just like, you know, everything's a fucking joke. You've just got to laugh at it. That guy has been my inspiration. Like, I've always tried to have a good sense of humor all my way through my military career. And even now, you've just got to laugh. You've got to be the most amused man on the top of the fucking ashes because it's all a joke. There is no freedom of speech, no freedom of assembly for people like us. You're only allowed to protest if you walk. You're only allowed to complain if you walk. You're only allowed to enjoy your life if you fucking walk. Us, we've just got to do as we're fucking told. And when some £200 million fridge freezer worth more than my house, fucking multi-millionaire pensioner geriatric is saying, you've got to send your kids to war. You've got to tighten your belts to export our values to 2 regions of Ukraine where everybody speaks Russian and 80% of them want to be Russian. Yeah, you've all got to tighten your belts, boys and girls. If you aren't fucking pissing yourself laughing watching all of this, you've got the wrong attitude for life. It's side-splitting hilarity. And the joke's on them because they don't realise that we find it funny. Pelosi thinks, I mean, I'll tell you what, Kamala Harris is a better example. Kamala Harris thinks when she goes on telly, again, go back and watch my last video if you want to see it. When she goes on telly and gives you the most insincere, ill-informed, just horrendous bad acting speech, she thinks that you think she's being serious. Like when she goes, okay, guys, what we're going to do, there's loads of pauses, it's come together and be a group and together and resolutely, yeah, stop the war. She thinks we're all there going, fucking, she's so great. She's a divine leader. She's inspiring, man. I could listen to her talk or I could listen to her read the telephone directory. Wow, the charisma. No, everybody's sat at home going, fuck me. It's a good job because she's so good at sucking cocks because that's the only way she got anywhere near a TV camera. Fuck me. She must be able to suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Kamala Harris. I cannot believe a woman that fucking ridiculous got to be the vice president of America. Like I said, wokeism for her was just a fucking goldmine. She was like a centre-right commentator who used to gob off loads when she was a prosecutor. Like, jailed her. She used to jail everybody. She was bragging about, oh yeah, all them hookers, I got them off the streets, the fucking sluts. And as soon as wokeism become a thing, she went, ching. Oh, I'm a brown woman. That's worth currency. All of a sudden, she's fucking woke. She's probably right of me, Kamala Harris. But she thinks when she does these fucking YouTube videos that we all sit there actually watching it going, fucking hell, she's brilliant. They don't realise that almost everybody in the general public, streetwise and cynical and pragmatic, and they don't buy it. They all made out as if everybody believed everything Trump said, and they didn't. We didn't. I was late to the party being a Trump supporter, but they forced me to pick a fucking side. I was never there going, oh yeah, everything Trump says is brilliant. He never lies. Of course he fucking lies. He lies his ass off. They all lie their ass off. We're just left to make a decision about which one lies the least or which one lies in a manner that obfuscates what they really think. I mean, there's a lot of intellect required to navigate the political world, and most people do it. The Brexit vote proved it. right? We just got lied to by the elites and the political class and the mainstream media for fucking 2 years. Just constant lies, even lied through our fucking letterbox. It wasn't enough lying on the TV and the radio. They lied through the letterbox, and we still voted for it. So the public can see through it. And that's why it's hilarious. Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and all of the Republicans, Mitch McConnell and Cruz and all these fucking assholes who were just banging the drums of war because they'll never have to fight in it. And they don't care about food prices, and they don't care about gas prices, and they don't care about the cost of food and clothing and footwear because they're all fucking loaded because we do all the work and they steal all of our money. They think that we all sit at home going, wow, inspiring, the elites. No, we know what the crack is, lads. You're all fucking useless. You talk bollocks constantly. Joe Biden's just a sock puppet. I don't know who's got his fist up Joe Biden's ass and is just working him. Like, hello, Joe Biden. That basically is being operated by someone in the fucking Secret Service or something. Maybe they've just drugged him up, put him to sleep, and they've got an android, like in a fucking Marvel comic. But yeah, we'll see. Trump's lies are cool. This is why you have to pick the least worst option. I preferred Trump because at least Trump was funny. Trump had a good sense of humor. He used to take the piss out of people. Trump didn't lie any less or more. Yeah, he lied loads. But Trump didn't lie any more than Biden or Clinton or Kamala. They all lie. It's just which liar do you like the most? You know what I mean? And yet they all go, oh, yeah, we've got to look at the numbers. It's fucking bollocks. So the general public knows what they're doing. Matt, where are your mods? I don't know. Kate's gone AWOL. She's probably in the gym. And Sadwings is, he's heard about the war in Russia with Ukraine. And he's probably fucking filling his generator. He's probably shoveling MREs into his underground lair. So yeah, I don't know where they are. Christ, that's nearly 40 minutes and I haven't even talked about any news. Just ranted about the war. I didn't even want to do that as well because it's not, everyone's sick of it. But hopefully you found the last 40 minutes humorous because that's what I'm always aiming for, right? You just got to laugh. It's going to fucking kick off. We're all going to be skinned. We're all going to be fucking skinned, right? And there's nothing you can do but laugh. Like I said, the working class can deal with it better than these fucking scumbags who work for the BBC and the Guardian. Just take that as solace. I am working class fucking scum. My first job was carrying sheets onto the roof in the rain in a coke oven covered in coal dust. That's the type of shit I'm used to doing. So when it comes to this war of attrition, the Russians will beat us, but I can at least compete with a Russian. I don't care about going out on the piss regularly, eating steak. Some part of me, some whatever pervert part of my psyche likes suffering because it makes me think, yeah, this makes me strong. You know the old strong guy meme? Hard times create strong men. I'm happy to go through the hard times because I think, fuck it, this is going to keep me laser focused. I'll be tougher come the end of it. That's the mentality you need to have. You need to save your money, prep as best you can, batten down the hatches and prepare for it to be fucking shit. But I know I can do it. Tap water and fucking spam for the next 12 months. I don't care. As long as I know the Guardian readers are having a harder time of it than I am, I'll have an erection as I eat my fucking spam. I'll be chewing on a fucking squirrel's toenails with a boner because I know at least the BBC, the Guardianistas, at least they're cowering in the house, shit scared because they think they're going to get nuked, crying, having their little emotional meltdowns. I'm depressed. I can't get on Zoom and do my therapy session. That makes me fucking moist. So fuck them. Fuck them. I'm going to be, seriously, I'll be the most amused man on the top of the fucking cinder pile. So fuck them all. Let's at least do some news. Yes, and spam is good. We love a bit of spam. Blue Van Man fucking loves a bit of spam. Working class people are well into spam. Let's do at least one news story before I fuck off. I'll try. Although, no, I really wanted to do this one. And this is about the war as well. All right, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. I take it you're not all just too depressed. You can handle it. Peter Hitchens talking about, again, this is what I'm talking about we shouldn't have took the piss out of the Russians and we shouldn't be getting involved now. It's a complex issue. Crimea, Donetsk, these regions are full of people who speak Russian. And it's not a simple case of, oh my God, Russia's just invaded Denmark. It's complicated. And when both sides are in the wrong, the only thing to do is not pick a side. I've said that loads of times. Just fuck them. If both sides are in the wrong, the only thing to do is not pick a side. It's not like Adolf, where he was shoveling babies into gas chambers. This is a complex issue. And Peter Richards wrote this, look. If the BBC found a group of neo-Nazis among some student Tories or among Trump supporters, they would surely tell us about it. Of course they would. That story the BBC went with, right? And I did love this because I think I talked about it about 2 weeks ago and said, I bet the Russians are shitting themselves. Like they've got all these middle-class Guardian readers think it's brilliant to show you footage of like 80-year-old women with doing a bit of training. And they're like, yay. Yeah, you go, girlfriend. Because to them, it's all abstract. It's bollocks. It's a Marvel movie. They love it. Strong women. It's got everything for them. Guardianistas. Oh, yeah, strong women. We're not afraid. We're doing some training. Well, you know, like how they love seeing Essence 4'2", gorgeous, bee-stung lipped heroines kick fuck out of 20 blokes. The new Hawkeye. I tried to watch the new Hawkeye. Fuck me. It was cringe. It was cringe. I'd rather watch my house burn down. It was the same shit. It was sassy, gobby, doesn't listen to Hawkeye. Sassy, gobby, no fuck all teenager, talking shit constantly and beating the shit out of loads of big blokes, right? They love all that because they think it's fucking brilliant to live in a fantasy land. Yeah, strong women, yeah. Well, you know what really happens? When the Ukrainian grandmother and all these, and they had a video, if you've all seen it, like 20 of these fat civvies with like wooden guns going bam, bam, bam. And the BBC were like, yeah, this is brilliant. Middle-class fucking journalist. Yeah, strong women. You know what happens when they go up against a load of burly Russian fucking soldiers? They all get machine gunned. Except for the attractive women, they get dragged back to the fucking dungeons, staked to the floor and gorilla fucked by 100 men. But that, the BBC, they don't see the reality of war. They just see Hawkeye and the Avengers films and going, yeah, strong woman. Yeah, well, strong woman's getting fucking spit roasted by Ivan and fucking Dragov. Not a fun thing. Not a fun thing. Owen Jones might enjoy it, Alan. Yeah, Owen Jones, fucking loving life. But your average strong woman, no. So the BBC ran with this story. Yeah, Granny with a fucking AK. Granny's going to get a fucking bullet in the head faster than you can say, useless old twat. It's not a game, BBC. These are real soldiers with real guns. It's not a fucking game. There's nothing funny about a Ukrainian grandmother getting ready to shoot, because Ukrainian grandmother will be about as much use as a nun's twat. She's getting fucking brassed up the second she even thinks of trying to point it at anybody. So why build it in? It's like I said, it's a big joke to them. And follow the story down. This cunt has got an SS insignia on his clothes, and the BBC thought this was fucking brilliant because it's like strong woman. Yeah, didn't think to look at the insignia on the bloke's fucking left arm. You can see it as clear as day. He's wearing a fucking SS insignia, and they're just like strong woman. She's getting gorilla fucked. If it's not like in the movies. If she pointed a gun at me, I'd blow her fucking crust off faster than you could say useless twat. There's nothing funny about putting civilians up against professional soldiers. It's not going to go like in the movies. 2 or 3 Russian fucking soldiers could go through 20 civilian women who've done 2 days training on the range in about fucking 2 minutes. And you might think, oh, well, you might have seen all the Marvel movies. Like, let me tell you something. Remember like Sean Penn and all these fucking actors? Oh, yeah, I know all about war. Why is that? Well, I made the Thin Red Line. Yeah. Let me tell you about war, son. These are the fucking types who are writing your news. Like, if you met someone, if a bloke like me who actually deployed 5 times met a bloke like Sean Penn, he'd lecture me about war. I've seen the horrors of war, man. Why? I was in the Thin Red Line. Oh, yeah? Tom Hanks, fucking big. Fucking big. But if you met Tom Hanks, he'd probably be like, I was there, man. I mean, Saving Private Ryan. Oh, let me tell you the horrors of war, bro. Yeah, I don't fucking care. Big, fucking big. These fucking people are lunatics. The people who write our copy are just fucking idiots. And they were so enthralled by the strong women doing a bit of weapons training, like as much use as a chocolate teapot, that they didn't even notice the full blown Nazis doing the training. So just to make the point clear, these were like explicit Nazi emblems originally used by Das Reich Waffen-SS division. They're famous for massacring women and kids and everything. And the patches worn by their Ukrainian fans also carry the word Azov and proclaim they're members of the Azov Battalion, who apparently was a paramilitary unit known for neo-Nazi ideology and Nazi symbolism. So these fucking lunatics were absorbed into the Ukrainian National Guard. So the BBC, rooting for the Nazis, yeah, they'll call you a Nazi because you politely disagree with Owen Jones, but they're rooting for the cunts because they don't see the nuance like I'm telling you about. How we should be standoffish because it's a deeply complex situation with extremely long and complicated historical roots. They just go, yeah, let's get the grannies to kill all the Russians. Yeah. You're pro-Nazi, BBC. Yeah. Actual Nazi. Yeah. The ones that kill women and kids, Nazis. No, not me. Not me, the centre-left bloke who disagrees with Owen Jones, so therefore, by default, he's a Nazi and he wants to gas babies. No, I mean the actual ones that gas babies. Yeah. You're on their side now. So please don't have a pop at me and call me a Nazi because I politely disagreed with fucking Laurie Penny and I think Afua Hirsch has got the IQ of a fucking pull-along duck, right? He's a fucking rocking horse, that cunt. How did she get a job working for a newspaper, eh? So, yeah, isn't that brilliant? This was the pathetic excuse offered by the BBC when I asked them how they had come to fail to report the truth. Yeah, so the BBC, ladies and gentlemen, is pro-Nazi and nicely summed up by that picture there. Don't care about the guy's fucking SS insignia. Just like, yeah, strong woman. Fucking pork it. And look at her. First, well, she's pointing down at the floor. Who's she shooting at? A fucking dwarf. Unless she's pointing a rifle at Willow Ufgood. What's his name? Warwick Davies. Unless she's attempting to go to war with Warwick Davies, Mini-Me, and who else is short? Stephen Hawking. He's little by default. Can't stand up. She's not shooting at fuck all there. Who's she trying to shoot? Fucking Tom and Jerry. Bollocks. It's all nonsense. Just looks nice to the strong women at the BBC. Fucking shit. So there we are. I'm not talking about Russia anymore. I'm going to give you a rest, and I'll finish on something not Russia related because we've all had enough, haven't we? I don't care. Just batten down the hatches and get ready to fucking be hungry. What shall I do? What about here's a good one. Oh no, that's Peter Hitchens. Fuck's sake. Where's the one? Oh no, here we are. This was the one I was talking about where amazingly the BBC seemed surprised. Look at this headline. BBC News. Alana Hutchins. Husband reveals anger with Alec Baldwin overshooting. If there's ever a headline that didn't need to be wrote, it's Alana Hutchins' husband reveals anger with Alec Baldwin overshooting. Can you imagine? Is this a surprise to anybody? Like the phone rings. Hello? Yeah, it's Alec Baldwin. Oh, hello, Alec. I was shooting going. Yeah, listen, I don't know how to tell you this. What? Are you sitting down? Yeah. I just shot your wife in the face. You just shot your wife in the face? Yeah. Is she dead? Oh, pretty dead. Yeah, hang on, I'll just check. Are you dead? Yeah, she's dead. Yeah. But is the film looking like it's going to wrap? Yeah. Did she at least finish her scenes? Do you think it's going to be a hit? That's not how the conversation went. Someone tells you I've just shot your wife in the fucking face. Yeah, you know how that conversation is going to go. I don't feel like the BBC needed to waste column space telling me that the husband reveals his anger. Well, of course he's fucking angry. You've just give his wife a fucking third eye. So yeah, the husband has been said it's absurd that Alec Baldwin is not taking responsibility. Well, yeah. Well, he is the one that fucking shot her. Matt Hutchins told NBC he felt angry seeing the actor talk about it. Yeah, of course he fucking did. Of course he fucking did. So that was ridiculous. If I had more time, I'd cover that at a bit of length because that I found that was quite comical that the BBC thinks that's something worth telling me about. And the other one that made me laugh was why won't you take my nudes down? Right. Here's some advice for you ladies. Ladies that watch the Bootneck, here's some advice. If you don't want to see your baps floating around in cyberspace, don't take nudes. Controversial, I know. Maybe because I'm old. I'm showing me age, right? Rotten's in. How you doing? Rotten Politics is in. How you doing, Rotten Politics? Good to see you still online. You never know. You never know if any of the crew is going to get instantly dispatched by Susan's snipers. Fucking A10 strike. If you don't want to, I know it sounds arrogant because I'm slightly older, and my generation we didn't do nudes. I mean, it's never happened. I can hand on heart say I'm not concerned about anybody getting a dick pic because I've never took one. Probably because there wasn't a zoom camera lens, right? I mean, mine probably nestled itself behind a pube, and then you've got now anyway. Just look at a picture. They think they've just been sent a picture of Chewbacca's arsehole, right? That's why I haven't took a fucking dick pic. It's a fucking jungle down there. But just don't take them. Like, I don't understand why these young people keep taking nudes. What are you doing it for? You're a fucking idiot. Shall we watch it? I'll tell you what. I've nearly done it now. We'll watch a few minutes just out of morbid curiosity, shall we? I'll get in. Mike's got some sexual content.
Mayla bütün köyden yere düşmüş bir insan için.
Está completamente ensartados.
Private images of women are being shared without consent on a massive scale. Whether secretly filmed, stolen or leaked by exes, women's pictures are being shared in groups for tens of thousands of people to see.
And you know what the solution is, boys and girls? Kill everyone. This is again what the BBC stories are always about. Problems that you can't. Oh yeah, I've shared the wrong fucking page. Could you hear that? Problems that you couldn't fix. Impossible to fix. Women send their exes, or they weren't their ex at the time. They sent them pictures of themselves with the tits out. And then they go, oh my God, something needs to be done. Why? Because they're sharing it without my consent. You took a picture of your fucking growler and sent it to a bloke. This is on you. If he then sends it to other people, yeah, he's a bit of a prick, but he's only a bit of a prick. The real problem is you shouldn't be daft enough to send blokes your fucking growler. I don't want to see what you're pissed with. I mean, I don't see, again, I'm showing my age. I don't see how it's erotic. I don't want to see anyone's fucking beef curtains. I don't think genitals look nice. Male or female. I really don't understand that. But yeah, stop showing people your fucking badly packed kebab. Nobody wants to see it. You must be clever enough to know that if you're just hooking up with someone for a couple of weeks, it's more than likely going to end with a split up. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking mental. You don't. How often does going out with someone end in a marriage? I mean, and by the way, I still wouldn't send my missus a picture of my fucking pork sword. But most people just have a relationship and then you split up. You're probably going to split up. If you send people nudes, you're a fucking idiot. Seriously. And then they make out like it's a problem that needs to be fixed. We need to pass legislation to deal harshly with men that share nudes. No. You can't just be like, oh, we were stupid, so kill them all. Legislation. It's always quick legislate. I was a fucking idiot, so you have to legislate. Sweeping powers, seize the phones, close the bank account, fucking burn their house down, turn the power off. Now just stop getting your fucking gusset out for all the lads. How about that? Simple, innit? And by the way, the look of disgust, by the way, I don't want anyone thinking I'm being prejudiced. The look of disgust is, you know why I was sort of pulling my face up there? She's about fucking, it's not because she's fat and ugly. It's because she's about fucking, what, 35? I could almost understand it if you were like 18. Youthful stupidity. If you're a big fat middle-aged fucking cowhead and you're sending people pictures of what must be a fucking, I don't even want a Rottweiler with a mouthful of mayonnaise. I don't even want to think about what the photos fucking look like. But you're an old fucking woman. If she was like 16 or 17, I could almost understand it. We're all daft when we're kids. But I was just appalled at the age of these fucking people. Like, seriously, you're just a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot with a head like a fucking wheelie bin. Who else? See if is there any young ones? She's not that old. I saw super vulgar comments about how hot I was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Devod. Authoritarian regimes to use leaked nudes. Well, stop fucking taking them. Anyway, I'm done. I'm not going to sit here and talk about fucking split kippers for half an hour because it's a disgusting, an axe wound, a knife wound in a grizzly bear's back. Right, it's ridiculous. Have a look at yourself. As usual, whenever there's a problem in life, instead of trying to fix the world, we need legislation. We need to do this. We need to do that. We need to close them down. Look inwardly, face the mirror, ask yourself, what could I have done differently? And in this instance, I'll tell you what you could have done differently, love. You're in your fucking 30s. You're a somewhat overweight 35-year-old woman. Stop sending blokes pictures of your fucking dangly bits. All right? Done. Don't blame the world because you're a fucking howler. That's just shocking behaviour for a woman of your advancing years. Get a fucking grip. Right, I'm off. Ladies and gentlemen, that was an hour. You can have that for fucking nout. I will see you tomorrow. Stay sane. Who gives a fuck? It's only a war. It's only a war. I love a bit of rain. John set up an OnlyFans and ended up wearing them. You'd think they'd pay her money to stop seeing her fucking beef curtains. Right. I'll see you all later. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.